All right. Well, it is officially Mountain Time at 6 or Mountain Time at 8 for our friends who are on the East Coast, which we've definitely heard a few of you on here. I want to take just a moment to welcome everybody to our Mountain Time event. We had an event similar to this last year where we kind of went through Convention 101 and talked a little bit about all the different ways you can access the convention, answered a few convention questions. So I hope that this will be really useful for everyone, and I hope everyone make sure to note your questions and ask your questions because we have a great crew of people here tonight to talk us through all the convention logistics. Maureen, do you have anything for us?
I just want to always do my reminder that you can always reach us through email at assistance.nfb.org, or you can also call our hotline, which, we're still checking those messages. And that number is 303-778-1130, extension 219. So just know that you can always reach us there. And I am just happy to be on with everybody tonight. And I'm super excited about convention. And I'm really glad we have the best experts of anywhere in the country, Paul and Curtis. So thank you, Paul and Curtis.
All right. And we saw that Kevin Worley hopped on, and he is a much better welcomer than I am. So I'm going to kick it over to Kevin for any better words of welcome.
No.
Oh, maybe he hopped up. Maybe
he dropped off for a second. So
yeah. For a second. Well, we'll kick it back over to him in a second. We're going to go ahead and hear from our NFB of Colorado president, Mr. Scott Labar, who sends his regrets that he can't be with us in person tonight, but he is off doing other Federation business. But he did take the time to send us a recording, so we will hear that as soon as Kevin hits play.
Nope, nothing, Kevin. It says computer audio muted, so if you're playing anything, it's not coming through.
All right, well, let me stop and reshare. I was sharing screen.
Here's what I've also learned. If you yourself are muted when you start a playback, the playback will be muted as well. So you have to start it while you're unmuted.
I did, yeah. Huh, okay.
There you go. Tip number 1 for the session.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
didn't know that either.
All right, so here goes. I'm sharing. I click sound also. I hit share. I'm hitting play.
It says screen sharing, but it doesn't say audio sharing. So I don't understand what's going on.
Well, that's okay. So what we'll do is I can have send it to you by email really quickly, Curtis or Paul, and we can share it that way. In the meantime, Curtis, Paul, do you guys have anything you want to?
So the first thing that I wanted to add,
started?
one of the things that I wanted to say was that this year, although they are using the Crowd Compass app, it is a variation of that app. And honestly, the easiest thing for you to do is to just, you can even tell Siri, search the App Store for NFB 21, and that will find the app. It's called hashtag NFB 2021, but that's enough that Siri can find it. You can also just search your App Store for it. What happens is when you download the app, it automatically is pointed to our event. So I have the Crowd Compass app from last year, and what I noticed was that it still was showing last year's event. When I searched for this year's event, it said no event found. So I'm assuming that it won't work in the old app. So you must download this hashtag NFB 2021 app, and that will get you started. The next thing you're going to need from there is going to be the first and last name that you registered with, and in addition, the email address that you registered before convention with, it will send a verification code to that email address, and then you'll have to put that 6-digit code in the app. Once you do that, you're verified. It will make you agree to the um, license agreement. I'm not sure if it's the code of conduct. There's an agreement that you must agree to before continuing, and obviously I don't remember what it was, and I did agree to it, so there you go. But
Like
that
license
will get
agreement
you.
for software.
Sorry.
None of us reads those. Yeah, we should.
I looked at it. I swear it was in my focus for about 5 seconds, and then it was gone. So I don't even remember what it was. But that's the first step. Once you get there and you're on the app, the rest will be easier. Relatively easier. I saw a hand go up and then it went back down, and I didn't catch who it was.
For those people who are not using an app, which you don't have to use an app for the Crowd Compass. The actual web address that you can go to is event.crowdcompass.com slash not slash NFB21. Event.crowdcompass.com / NFB21, and the same exact thing happens. It wants your email address. It wants to check the box that says you agree, and then you get a code, and you enter the code, and that's how you get in. And I think you have, I don't know, I haven't tested the second or third time, but you may have to do this every time you go in. Not certain of that, but you don't need an app on your computer. But you do need the app, and you'll be a lot easier, happier if you use the app on the smartphone.
I'd be surprised if they made you verify that a second time. It may be just
It could be that I erase everything, and that's why my own kind of thing.
But that would be one advantage of the app. You only have to
Yep.
do it once.
I do want to say a word about the convention agenda very seriously, because I'm hearing from a lot of people that there's confusion about what to do. Let me first point out to everybody who cares and wants to read the agenda that the version of the agenda that is going to be kept up and will clearly be the most current will be the one that is a web page. I know that we have offered Word and EPUB and PDF versions of the agenda, but I will tell you from experience in the last week or so that those versions will probably not be updated as quickly as the web. Fortunately, if you go to nfb.org/convention, which is a URL that we've been talking about all along, right there on the page, you'll see links to the different parts of the agenda, like links to the welcome, links to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so if you're on a particular day of the week and you want to look at what events you want to go to, you would want to press enter on those days of the week and bring yourself up to the days, and then all the links for all the sessions will be there, assuming that Zoom is the platform that you're going to use. That's what pretty much the online stuff is assuming.
But the Curtis, the one that we've been sending to people, if they follow that link from the emails I send out, they'll get to the right agenda.
Yeah.
Also, I would say, I mean, for my money, and I'm a technology, I mean, ask Paul Pichardo. It takes him 20 hours to teach what he could teach somebody else in 30 seconds. To ask Paul Sandoval. But this Compass Crowd app is an absolute wonderful thing from what I remember from last year. And I gather, and you guys tell us, it's been enhanced.
So far, it looks a lot the same as it did last year, so there's not a huge learning curve. I'm assuming that since they provided their own NFB app, that there is going to be some under the hood bells and whistles, something that's going to pop up during the convention that otherwise is specialized, I think, because it seems a little bit of a waste to have a separate app just to point people to the event. It wasn't that hard to find the event normally. So
it was absolutely a joy. I was at the Rookie Roundup. I don't know how many of you folks went to the Rookie Roundup, but then I played around with the agenda. It was easy to mark events throughout the agenda on the Compass Crowd app. I did have trouble. I was trying to send a couple of conventioneers messages, because you can go on the app and you can play around and find a list and say, oh, I want to send a message to Paul Sandoval so he'll know I'm at the convention. You can do that. I was having trouble with that, but maybe that won't be enabled. Maybe that's not engaged yet. But still, you know, they say that the convention exhibit hall is going to even be more dynamic and easier to navigate. And so I mean, I think it's going to be a joy, and I hope we'll get a lot of folks to. I don't care if they do YouTube. I don't care if they do Zoom. I don't care if they do Crowd Compass, but I just hope we'll all get lots of folks to come to the convention, because there's stuff we don't even know yet that is coming next week. This is huge. Next
So
week is going to be, it's going to be
one of the
huge.
problems
Thanks.
with the app last year, one of the problems with the Crowd Compass app last year is of course it has the Zoom links for each of the sessions and for the exhibit hall, and it was hit or miss whether some of those would work. So you would go and try to visit Vispero, and you'd tap that link several times and it wouldn't open. And I discovered that if you scroll down and if the link's in a particular place, it clicks fine. So I tested some of that on a couple of the Zoom links that are up there now, and they're all working flawlessly. So maybe
Yeah.
that's another thing that they sort of just addressed. But my favorite thing for using this app, the favorite use of it is really just customizing my schedule, because that
Yep.
agenda has so many items. You can eliminate the things that you just don't care about. Maybe get Tuesday down to, 7, 8, 9 things instead of there's so many I don't even know. But that's for me, that's the real gem of this app.
It
Exactly.
was suggested last night that we had about 100 different items, and they're not talking about on the general agenda. You're not counting that, but almost 100. So to be able to customize your own agenda, to go through and tap things that you want to do, is going to serve you very well next week. I think I agree with you, Paul. I love it, and it's easy peasy.
So they have it sectioned up: pre-convention, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So as you're moving through the convention, you can kind of eliminate some of the other things that have already been passed and focus on what's in front of you. And in my experience, that's kind of what you need to do during this week, is just focus what's in front of you, because there's so much.
Now, we have a number of people here who are dialing into this meeting, which tells me that we have to be careful of our implicit bias. uh, so for you phone users, the most important piece of information is to understand this one basic thing, which you may already know if you've been doing Zoom by phone all along. Find your favorite Zoom phone number and hang on to that one and just use it for all of the meetings that you want to attend for the convention. And the only other piece of information you need then to get into the meeting that you want is the meeting number, which could be anywhere from 10 to 12 digits. So once you have those two pieces of information, none of these meetings, I believe, are password protected. So that's all you have to know is the phone number and the meeting ID, followed by pressing pound once or twice to get into the thing. And then, of course, your favorite Zoom commands, *6 and *9. *6 to mute and unmute, which you won't be able to do during some of the stuff, and *9 to raise your hand, which you may want to do during some of the smaller sessions. And then, of course, there is the voting, which if people have been able to get in before the 31st of May, you can get registered. And I think we published that phone number somewhere. It was buried in an email, and I don't have it right in front of me. But that number is the one you'll use when you want to vote yes or no for resolutions, and elect people, or if any other issue comes up during the last day of the convention.
Or the first day, for that.
Or the first day, yeah.
You never know.
I mean, you never know when a vote's going to come up.
I would go to the convention if I were you guys this year. This could be a pretty fascinating year. They're all fascinating years, Diane McGeorge would say.
Yes, and they
I would only also say that if folks are struggling, or they know people who are struggling, you need to get in touch with us. We'll find somebody to help. May not be as easy as you want or we want, but if I know that the center seniors are working through issues and trying to make it as comfortable as possible. And I know people are getting together and doing some meetings at their houses and convention parties. Let us know about those things if you're having them. The affiliate leadership, Jessica Scott, will want to know. I know the center's doing some things, so try to really engage around the convention and help people out, just like if we were in person. We know that there are seniors that have trouble, say, with an escalator. Well, we're going to help them out. Well, we know that there are young people who may not know the how Paul and Curtis and some of us do the magic on the Zoomers. So we got to help each other out to make sure it's a dynamic convention for everybody.
You know, it's not a bad idea if you have email access and you are struggling, put something out on Colorado Talk. That way, if somebody's available and they can help, they can just jump right in and make sure that you don't miss too much of the show.
Yeah, that's good, Paul. That's a good idea. I mean, you know, reach out to somebody because we don't want you to miss the show. We're going to hear the Colorado Secretary of State next week, you guys. That's pretty cool.
What session is that going to be in?
Friday, I think.
Okay.
I sent you guys that, or forwarded that email if you guys, Paul and Curtis.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it. Keep talking, you guys.
Yeah.
We should see what people want to know, right? Paul, Curtis.
Yeah. Does
Kev,
anybody
Jess,
have any questions at this point?
You know, raise your hand, stomp on the floor.
See if I see any hands up.
Remember that we also have a Colorado caucus, and that's going to be next Friday, the 9th. And I'm not going to give you
9
wrong
a.m.
information. What?
9 a.m.
A.M. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't have the.
It's at 9.
He said
9 a.m. Okay, great. Our time. 9 a.m. Okay, great. So come to the caucus. So we'll have, because otherwise Julie won't be able to get the banquet tickets turned in time.
Yeah. All right,
You know.
we got a hand raised here. Phone number 470-253-7186.
Right here.
Yeah. How you doing? My question is, 2 weeks ago, I got an email. Do I need a mentor? I said, yes. They said, we will get back to you. My mentor never got back to me to help me get on a convention because I'm a greenhorn.
I think, did you, Wes, is this your first convention?
Yes.
Okay.
First phone convention.
We will connect you. Does Kevin Kovacs have your email address?
I have no idea.
Okay, I don't think so. We need to connect you with Tracy Safranco. He is the person that's spearheading those efforts. So Wes, if you want to give us your email address real quick, and Kevin can take down your phone number since you dialed in, we'll make sure that we connect you with Tracy and make sure he connects you with a mentor.
Fantastic. Email address.
Yes.
Underdog, M as in mom, J as in Jack, at Comcast.net. Phone number 470-253-7186.
All right, I've got you, Wes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right, Marianne.
Greetings, everybody. I was wondering, since Curtis now has that email that Kevin just passed around, do you guys know if the voting number is the same as what we used last year? Because I was one of those people that just saved it in my contacts, and whenever I wanted to vote, I just texted to a number that was in my contacts.
I'm trying to look on the website, but I'm not seeing it right now.
No, but I'll tell you what, I thought I heard someone say that it was, and it sounded familiar, but that doesn't mean that it was, Marianne. I just don't know.
I hear you. Just figured I would ask the question in case
Yeah,
anybody.
I thought the same thing last night at the rookie roundup. I think that's the same number.
Mhm.
Sean Sandoval here.
Hey, Sean.
I have that number. The number for the voting is 667-206-7677.
I swear that's the same. It's got to be.
I was just going to say that sounds exactly the same.
It sure does.
Hold on, I'm gonna go look right now.
It is
Okay,
the
well,
same because it comes up in my phone as convention vote.
Mm-hmm.
all right, there we go. So I could probably do the same thing. Whoop, whoop.
There you go. That's why I didn't delete it out of my contacts. I figured we'd be using it again.
Yeah. Now, folks, Marianne, for example, if you're looking for a good convention guide, and I don't know how busy you are, Marianne, but you know, if people are looking in your chapters for a good sounding board, someone to give you some guidance through a national convention. Marianne is one of our team leaders who could help with that, y'all.
I would be happy to do that for, evenings and Saturday and so on. I still have to maintain my work schedule this week. We are completely slammed, but outside of work hours, I would be happy to be a convention mentor for our folks who need it.
There you go. Whoop, whoop.
All right, phone number ending in 4044. Your hand's raised. You can unmute.
We're not getting them.
Phone number 404-358-4044. There you go.
It's Faye Wright.
Okay.
I have a question concerning that crowd. No, I just said it wrong. The app that we are talking about, I downloaded. However, I was looking for an NFB convention and I could not locate it. And I think you said something earlier, a way that we're supposed to download it properly.
Okay, so what I noticed was that if you download the Crowd Compass app, that one won't work. You have to go to the App Store and download hashtag or number sign NFB 2021. That's the name of the app.
Okay, I got it now.
You can even tell Siri search for NFB 21, and that's enough.
NFB 2021, right? 4 digits, Paul.
Yeah, but you can actually tell Siri NFB 21 and it works.
Siri's awfully smart.
Just real quick,
Thank you.
Michelle, I just have to say, Faye, I'm so happy. Welcome back. Faye is a graduate of the Colorado Center for the Blind, and she also used to work for our NFB Newsline program in Georgia. And I just wanted to say, hey, Faye, and we love you.
Oh, thank you. Love you all too.
And hey,
Thank
Jessica, you don't get to jump in and say hi to Faye quicker than I do. Love you, Faye. Glad to hear your voice. Oh, I guess.
All right.
Xiao was trying to jump in. She had something to contribute here.
Xiao.
Hi, yes. So I just emailed Colorado Talk the link, the direct settings. Wait, hold on. Search box. Sorry. Ease of access list box.
You're in your jaws.
Selected.
Curtis.
You have started computer audio. You're good.
The
host okay, so yeah, I just emailed the Colorado Talk the direct link to download the app for the NFB 2021 app that you were talking about, Paul. So if you just click on that link, it will direct you to the correct app and you just hit get.
All right.
And you will be able to do that.
So your computer was talking. Start that 30 seconds over, Chow. What did you do?
Oh, yeah. So I just emailed everyone on the Colorado Talk email list the direct link to the app. So you can just literally click on that app and then hit get, and it will bring you directly to the correct app. Also, I have time this weekend, so if anybody needs help, I'm happy to help with any sort of tech stuff.
Thank you.
That's huge. Thank you. That's awesome.
I might call you and ask you for help.
Yeah, I need some help. I need big time
too.
help.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about computers.
Well, so do I. But
well, I don't need that kind of help. I just need help. Mental help. Anyway.
I need 2 pair of good legs, so somebody can walk for me. That would be good. So.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that, Chow. I will send, when I send these Mountain Time at 5, etc. messages far and wide, I send them to, I don't know, well over 1,000 people. So I will, on our blog spot list. So I will send that out as well in case people want that. That's huge. Because we really want to spread the word and get the kiddos and the families and the teachers and everybody to find the joy in our convention next week. Bye, Stephen. What else, y'all?
Are you
ready?
Okay, yeah, good.
So let me turn my
full speech.
Here they go.
Settings. Studio recorder-SCL recording.
Here we go.
Well, greetings, NFB of Colorado and all of our other guests. I am so sorry that I cannot be with you tonight at our Mountain Time at 6. It just so happens, and we just found out yesterday, that Governor Polis is signing our bill, which was House Bill 1110, 21-1110, sponsored by Representative Ortiz. This is the bill that would make our law in Colorado look pretty much exactly like the Americans with Disabilities Act when it applies to the state government and local and county governments. And the real exciting thing about this bill is that all websites of the state, of counties, municipalities, special districts, any public entity, in other words, all those websites must be accessible within the next 3 years. And Governor Polis is signing this tonight at Craig Hospital. I will be there with my lovely wife, Anna Heat, and our second vice president, Julie Deeden, and Dan Burke, one of our legislative coordinators. We will also have the opportunity to speak very briefly on 1110 and what it means. So this is a very exciting night, and we can celebrate the passage of that bill and the signing by Governor Polis tonight. And it was all of you that helped us make sure we got that bill passed. You'll recall that at the end of May, right after Memorial Day, we ran into a hurdle where they said there was not going to be funding for the bill, but we fought that battle and won it. Now, with respect to the upcoming convention, I am getting really, really excited about our 81st Annual National Federation of the Blind Convention, anywhere and everywhere. And there are two things I want to make sure I highlight for you. Number one, please participate in our Colorado caucus. And I'll ask Curtis Chong or Jessica Beecham or some of the other folks on the call to give you some more details about the caucus and what we normally do. But that will be at 9 a.m. on the 9th of which is Friday. So next Friday at 9 a.m. We will send to the listserv again the link, the Zoom room that we've created for our caucus. You will not find that in the National Convention agenda. So please stay tuned for that, and want everybody to come to our Colorado caucus. The other thing that I wanted to point out is there is a resolution that is of particular interest and is a special resolution this year. The NFB National Board of Directors has submitted a resolution to the convention asking the Federation to authorize a special fund for survivors of sexual misconduct and abuse. This fund would go towards therapy and other measures to help those who have gone through incidents in the past. And so we're asking everybody to support that resolution. Now, the only way that you're eligible to vote is if you are, in fact, a member of the National Federation of the Blind, and if you registered to vote prior to the 31st of May. If you are a member and you wanted to vote and didn't register, I'm sorry about that. We can't do anything about it this year because we had to give our voting vendor, Excitem, the list well in advance of convention. And I know that one of the things we'll be talking about in this meeting tonight is, in fact, how we vote for those of you who will be voting. My understanding is that there's going to be about 20 or so resolutions. And the Resolutions Committee meets, I believe it is on the 7th, and it should be a very, very interesting meeting. Resolutions will be posted to the NFB website starting tomorrow. So those are the things I wanted to say, and I want to thank everybody for attending tonight, and I look forward to being at our 81st Annual Convention. So let's go build the National Federation of the Blind.
Woohoo!
Awesome. So I also, speaking of presidents, wanted to make sure that we also introduce our Georgia president and one of my very, very favorite honorary Coloradans, Dorothy Griffin. So Dorothy, do you want to say a few words about how any of your folks from Georgia can reach help or access you if they might need anything during the convention?
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
There you go.
All right. Hello, everyone. And yes, this is Dorothy Griffin from Georgia. And if anyone that is in the Georgia affiliate and you need help with downloading your Crowd Compass, I like to call it Crown Compass, but Crowd Compass, then you can give me a call tonight after the meeting, after 5 tomorrow, and Friday, and I can help you Saturday and Sunday if you need it. So that's it. And thank you. Tell Scott I said thank you for telling me when those resolutions were coming up. I'm happy. I'm cheering.
Well, we love Georgia. We love our brothers and sisters, and you have done just a remarkable job, Dorothy. You and your husband, you guys are peachy keen in my book any day.
Don't steal my roll call. Love you guys too in Colorado. Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Are there any other questions at this point?
Oh, I suppose I should say that one of the ways I listened to the convention last year was on my Amazon Echo. So if anybody has one of those, it's and you don't plan, you can vote at the same time, and you don't have to sit in front of your computer or whatever. And all you got to do is say "Open Nations Blind," and it's my belief we're going to have the same thing for the general sessions, the board meeting, those events, not resolutions. When I read this. So
that will also be streamed on YouTube as well, right?
That's right. Yeah. If you look for the National Federation of the Blind channel on YouTube.
Well, and that's so wonderful, Curtis, because we can all, as members, I don't want to be a one-note Johnny here, but spreading the word about the convention is huge because, you can tell our family and friends, my parents were not blind people, and yet they're dead now, but they attended 11 conventions and always built a chapter no matter where they live. So don't forget your families and get them involved. And hell, a lot of times they'll pull it up and listen to it around the house. You don't have to it's everywhere and anywhere. So get your friends and colleagues to, check out the banquet address or check out presentation by Dula Jarbo, or just so let's reach out, man. Get thousands of people to be with us.
Yep, and remember the most current form of the agenda, if you really are into those things, is still get it online. You can actually see the days of the week on that one main page right there. I know people get confused. I got several calls as well earlier this week about how do you navigate the agenda, and it's a little tricky because the day of the week is not the first word on that link, right? It'll say NFB convention agenda, and somewhere in the middle of that it'll say Tuesday or welcome, or it'll say convention notes. So you have to let JAWS run its mouth all the way through before you can figure out what.
So I've had several comments that when it was sent out, the daily agenda was sent out over Colorado Talk, that was tremendously helpful for folks because it, was just less overwhelming. And for people who maybe didn't get the Crowd Compass app set up and get their agenda customized, that's a little bit smaller doses to kind of swallow there.
We can do that. We'll make sure that it gets out there.
I think that's something we should do again. So.
Yep.
All right, cool.
We had a message in the chat that what is the login for Crowd Compass again? How do you log in again?
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to go and download the hashtag NFB 2021 app, not the old Crowd Compass app. I had trouble locating this event in the old app. So if you go and you search the App Store for hashtag NFB 2021, you'll download the app, and it's immediately after opening the app, it will point you directly to this event. That's what's going to be in focus is the NFB 2021 convention. You tap that, and it'll just take you through the rest of the login process.
It's basically your name and your email, I think, that it wants. And then what it will do is the first time, I think it sends out a verification code, and then you have to type that in.
That's
and
correct.
check a box that says you agree to stuff, and then you're in. after that.
Yep.
So that presumes you're registered, because if you weren't registered, you wouldn't be able to then get into the Cloud Compass app. And is it, I don't know, nobody said anything about registration closing. So I've been encouraging people to keep registering, even though it's after the 31st of May, because door prizes are.
That's exactly right.
You're eligible for the door prizes, and you could win like those people did last year at the end of the banquet, right? A couple $1,000.
That's worth registering for.
Yeah. Exactly. So
does anybody out there have any questions?
We've got phone number ending in 3300. You can unmute with *9.
No, it's *6.
*6, I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Hey, you guys. This is
Hey,
Ken
there
Roberts
you
here
go.
from Georgia.
Go.
How you doing?
Pretty good. What can we do for you?
Good. Yeah. I actually just want to make a comment too. I actually like the new app. Actually, I hadn't really played with it that much with the agenda yet, but but I like the new app. They made their own app for it. Oh, and registration is open throughout convention. They said last night, so it's not set to close on a certain date. It's just if you wanted to vote, you had to register before May 31st, and even after that, you can still register throughout convention.
All right.
That's what they said.
Thank you.
That's good to know. So one of the strange things that I found with this new app is when you add things. So let's say you go to an event. In my case, it would be the first thing that I'm going to look at on Tuesday is going to be the NAGDU seminar. So from 11 o'clock to 2 p.m. our time. And when I go into the event or any other event, there's a couple of items in there. One is to bookmark the event. One is to add it to schedule. And one of the accessibility issues that I've noticed with this app is when you double tap something and add it to schedule, it doesn't say that it's selected. You just have to go on faith that it actually took. Then you back out and look at your schedule and confirm that it actually is there. I had some difficulty with that, so just wanted to point that out for people who may be trying to add things and thinking that it's not actually adding it when it is.
So that problem still remains with us this year, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, oh, darn. Okay.
And it's a simple one to fix, I would think, too, but I'm not a developer.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
I think we've covered about as much ground as people want. The key thing is there's a place to go when you need help. We'll have it. You can use our assistant's email and our assistant's phone numbers, or Colorado Talk, either one, and somebody will get back to you.
Marianne just raised her hand.
Whoa.
I just need to know how on earth we're supposed to do banquet exchange if Julie is not here.
I think we're dead. That we're toast. There's just nothing for it.
There's just not even going to be a thing. Actually, I think I'm coming to the Aurora thing. That's what I know. I'm crashing somebody else's banquet because it's my banquet, because we're all family, and so I'm just picking a party and just going and joining.
Nice. Well, that sounds fantastic. I do just briefly before we hop off want to go back to the caucus. Scott mentioned that that we'll all be meeting there, and it is seriously a time that at regular convention that well, this is regular convention, but at our in-person convention when we would give Julie our tickets for banquet exchange. But beyond that, it's really a time that we can hear from each other and hear who's at the convention, and oftentimes like how many years people have been at conventions, and we can discuss if there's a controversial resolution so that Scott has a sense of how our affiliate is interested in voting on that resolution. And I do believe that there will be some controversial resolution. So like if we were to have a tie, which I mean we shouldn't have in this instance, but if we were, and he had to cast a vote on our behalf, that he would know how to do that. And it's just a great time for us to all sort of just get together and fellowship and have that that sense of camaraderie that we would customarily have around a convention. Does anybody else have anything they want to mention about the caucus?
I would just like to mention also we get to hear from our scholarship winners, which is also just really a great time for us to support them. I mean, our scholarship winners are so important to us, and this is such an important program that we do in the Federation. So I personally love getting to hear from our scholarship winners.
Absolutely.
Don't we have a national scholarship winner this year?
Yes, we do.
We do.
So that's going to be really interesting to hear her take on, the whirlwind that she's going to experience that week. I think it's cool to, after, being around so many people that are from different places, it's cool to have that morning where we're all in one room and in this case, of course, in one Zoom room. But it's nice to sort of reconnect there and slow down for a second.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Conventions are always my high point for the year. So,
any other questions or comments before we wrap it up for the evening? And no question is a silly question. We're all fairly new. Even the most seasoned convention attendee in the group has only been to at most one other national convention virtually.
I hear that one exhibitor is figure out a way to generate coffee through Zoom, so I'll be looking forward to seeing that one.
Ooh.
Does anyone know how long caucus is? It set for an hour, or is it 90 or 2?
I think it's typically 60 minutes. Oh, we got some hands up now.
Phone number ending in 7186.
Les from Georgia. When we go into a vendor room, is it going to be a group that talks, or can you talk to the vendor one-on-one and order what you need to order, or how's that going to work?
Well, from my experience, it seems like you go in and it's going to be a group setting. It's going to be a Zoom room. If you want to do any ordering, I imagine it's going to be one of two ways. They're either going to take your information down there, possibly in a breakout room, I don't know, or they're just going to I would imagine that's really all they're going to be able to do is take your information down and either pull you aside or contact you outside of the Zoom room.
Morning.
Yes.
Last year I helped out in the exhibit hall, and so what we would do is we had a breakout room where you would go give your information if you were going to like sign up for anything or purchase anything. So they just quickly moved you to a different breakout. It worked really well.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Vijas, how you say that?
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm Bayas. I wanted to just ask, I really like the app a lot. And I just wanted to ask, like, when you look at an event and it says like 5 check-ins or 6 check-ins, like, what does that mean? Does that mean like that number of people are interested in it, or?
So it looks to me like, because I've seen things that have been checked into that are not happening, that obviously haven't happened yet. But I know there was an event going on tonight from 4 to 5:30, and that showed 7 check-ins. So there's a button to check in right there. I'm imagining it's just an I'm interested, or it doesn't look like it's tied to any particular social media.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Anyone?
One thing I did like on that page was that you, if the vendor or the exhibitor has Twitter, Facebook, social media links, they're actually right on that page, and you can click them to easily find that entity to follow them or like them or whatever the flavor is for that platform. But I thought that was kind of nice because I'm more likely to follow a lawyer, from there, or an exhibitor from there than try to search it out. I guess sometimes I get lazy, so imagine others do too.
I'm looking for the bargains I can get from Vispero. Maybe I'll get I can reduce my maintenance costs for JAWS.
So I
And
actually I found that a really good way to get a hold of tech. Um, for example, hymns. I had a hard time getting in touch with hymns, but boy, I nailed somebody down within 5 minutes there. So it was nice to get an answer.
yeah.
Anybody else?
Here we go. Oh. All right, phone number ending in 3300.
I remember that one.
There you go.
Okay. I'm here. Sorry. I was thinking. Anyway. Yes, Kevin again. Are they running the special again for the reduced pricing for Sparrow again? Because I haven't had a chance to look yet. Because I'm going to renew my annual license.
I looked and it's not there yet, but they'll publicize it at the beginning next week.
I'm surprised if they don't. It's been a running thing for a few years now.
Oh yeah, they'll always offer. For example, you'll be able to get the licensed JAWS for less, and your maintenance agreement will be a little less. So that's I always pay mine then because it's cheaper than if I wait till Christmas.
I love to see the questions coming in because really ask it. If you're thinking it, somebody else probably is as well.
Phone number ending in 6028. You can unmute with *6.
Is the phone number when you dial in for all the rooms going to be the same? But I know the password will be different, or the meeting ID, whatever you call it.
Yes, you can use the same phone number to dial into Zoom, and you'll just use a different meeting ID for each meeting. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Oops.
All right. Anyone else?
Good questions, guys.
Seeing none.
Going once. Sold.
Time at 6, everyone. Thanks for joining us and happy convention. Again, remember if you need any assistance, if you're from Georgia, you can reach out to Dorothy or you can reach out to us. We're happy to help. You can email assistance@nfbco.org. You can call our assistance line, which is at the center extension. Is it 219?
211.
219? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it is 219.
And then you can also, like Paul said, a really quick way to just sort of reach out to the group think is to put an email out on the Colorado Talks listserv, and we'll be hearing from everyone at convention.
And yes, Jess, it is 219. Sorry, I couldn't unmute fast enough. It's extension 219. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Sure.
Full speech. Order -SQL. Ease of access list box. Vision. Selected. Display.